Hello there. I just set up some Game Boy configuration. Let's do this. This is Super Mario Land. Probably the first Game Boy game you've played. If any. Do you guys like black and white? Why did I decide to do this? Well, I just need to... When I have longer projects, I need to sometimes fill time with shorter projects, and this is the perfect way to do it. Mostly because I need to set a new paradigm for how I was going to record Game Boy stuff. And there's like a couple of questions when you're like, you know, doing handheld game videos. The first question is, how much color? That's really a consideration because there's three ways to run this game in terms of, well, there's more than three, but you could have it look like an actual Game Boy with the greenness. You could have the dot matrix stuff. You could also make it look like the Game Boy Light, which is kind of a teal color, but it was Japanese exclusive. And then you had like a darker gray, which is how you expect the Game Boy Pocket to run, but I just went with the, you know, pure white-black stuff. So, pure monochrome for Game Boy games. The other two things is if you play it in Game Boy Color, well, if you play it in Game Boy Color, you'll get like a default, like, settings. There's really only going to be 4 colors at any given time, though, for the most part. Or you run it through Super Game Boy and use its palette, and then I don't have to worry about the resolution. But I've decided I'm going to worry about the resolution. Okay? Yeah. You know, for this first Super Mario... Yeah, what else was I talking about? Right, the configuration. So for the configuration, right? I was thinking about what I was going to do with the resolution, but I found a much easier answer. So any custom resolution you want to throw at me, I got you covered now. Just don't make it stupid. I don't know why all Nintendo handhelds resolutions are different, but they are. You up top here, you get the bonus. Right, so I want to tell you how I heard about this game, because I didn't really have a Game Boy until, let's say, I guess 93. Does that sound right? Yeah. But yeah, like, or was it 94? Well, around then I'd also been subscribed to Nintendo Power, and they had released a... How did I get this exactly? It was like a special edition Super Game Boy guide thing, the Super Game Boy box, and it showed like various like premier Game Boy games by Nintendo themselves, and I suppose other things too. And I'm pretty sure the first one being Mario Land, and you know, Mario Land 2, Metroid 2, I think. Probably Link's Awakening, I think. Anyway, but that's how I heard about this game specifically, or just how did I hear about Game Boys? Well, I mean, Game Boys are all over the joint, man. They're all over the joint. Of course, I got a green Game Boy because, yeah. But by that time, you could get them in different colors. Before it was just a regular-ass gray. But yeah, that thing takes 4 AA batteries, and it would go out pretty fast. Yeah, I'm glad we don't live in that time. Well, now you have batteries that make your Steam Deck or Nintendo Switch go out really fast, or whatever other thing you're using. Really, this is probably good. This is a bygone era. You don't want to stick with like black and white games for your whole life, do you? But that's beside the point, because Game Boy games are actually pretty damn good. I'm thinking of branching out to, like, so I'll probably want to do Game Boy Color stuff and Game Boy Advance stuff. I gotta set a configuration for that, because when it comes to handheld games, before backlights and handhelds were common, they would purposely oversaturate the colors to go with the lack of light. So now when you have like a lot of light to these games, they look kind of wrong. And the easiest way to tell is to look at a Castlevania game for Game Boy Advance. That's how you know the colors need to be adjusted, because it's supposed to be a much darker game than Let's On, right? Because it's Castlevania, right? So, yeah. Just things I had to think about. So, what else could we go with that? Like, Game Gear? Well, Game Gear is going to be unusual in that, like, some of the Game Gear titles are just pretty much on par with Master System titles, if a little bit extra. So if the game I want to play on Game Gear start out on Master System first, I'll probably play the Master System one. instead of the Game Gear one, because I don't want to give myself less screen for a game that had a better screen and roughly runs the same way. What else can I do? Oh, a Bandai WonderSwan / color. Could do that. Not sure how I want to do that, but it's plausible, isn't it? What other handhelds, guys? Oh, DS? Well, I don't have an answer for that yet. I mean, the touchscreen I have an answer for. But I don't know how I want to display dual screens. And this is before I even think about trying to show you Virtual Boy stuff. Although YouTube does have like a 3D setting so you can do the stereoscopic shit. But I would probably need to get some configuration to make it show stereoscopic and get like those 80s 3D glasses. You know the ones. It's red on one side and blue on the other.
Oh, Daisy, I hope to see you in Mario Tennis someday.
This is why my fan theory is that Waluigi X comes from Sarasa Land. Alright, so what's the other reason I'm doing Mario Land? Besides it being easy? Well, stay tuned and find out.